Hello everyone, I have already done my brows. I just went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the shade Ebony, the dip brow, the good stuff. And then I just cleaned it up with the Tarte. This is in the shade Tan Sand. I use at the bottom, use deep at the top, blend it out. This is what we got. As you guys can tell by the title, I will be doing a story time for you guys today. And it's going to be like a get ready with me type thing. You already know what to do. Click that subscribe button down below so you can join the squad. Come on in, bring it on in, all of that. Okay, let's get into the real tea. I kind of don't want to say nothing about this. I kind of don't even want to bring it to attention. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. It's a crazy story, but I just was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and do a little quick 1-2 story time, because I actually do like telling a little story, you know. Might tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie, okay? That's for sure. So this story is 100% true, and this is what happened to you, girl, okay? So I gotta give y'all a quick backstory. So quick backstory about me. I am a person who have been doing hair or did hair previously for years and was in the hair industry, hair influencing. Never sold hair, okay? Let's just say that. Like, I was an affiliate for some companies, but I never sold hair, okay? Never sold hair. Always was the one who did the hair, okay? So that's a little backstory. I always was the person that did the hair, and I did the hair for a while, some years or whatever, in the hair industry and everything like that. So you guys, I am a mom, of course, and this is gonna all tie in together. So I'm trying to break it down as much as I can, just to give y'all a little backstory, like for the new people or there's people in general that's watching and listening. So yeah, so I'm a mom, and also just I've been doing hair ever since I was real young, because me and my sisters, we had to learn how to do our own hair. Our mom died at a young age, and we had to learn how to do our own hair and everything like that. And we lived with my grandma. She didn't really know much about hair. I do her hair now, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't really know that much about hair. We used to go to the beauty shop, but you know, they can get expensive with being 3 kids. They can get very expensive going every week. So we had learned how to do our own hair at a very young age. And you know, we just caught on with the wave of doing the weaves and all of that stuff like that. Well, I did, and my sisters, they did too as well, like a little bit. So basically, I was probably like the sister that caught on to it real fast. So I ended up teaching my sisters how to do certain things. And my oldest sister, she's really good with like dyeing hair and all of that stuff, you know, and she taught me how to do that. And as far as my younger sister, I told y'all that she passed away. I think I told y'all years ago, but yeah, she passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. I taught her how to do a lot of hairstyles. So that was just our thing. What we learned, we put on, you know what I'm saying? So that's a little backstory. I've been doing hair for a while, but as far as like doing other people's hair, I started doing other people's hair when I was in like high school. Yeah, we would just like practice on our friends and do our friends' hair, and then people at school will like the way we do our friends' hair, so then they want us to do their hair, you know, and it just kept going on, you know, word of mouth like that. Who did show hair? Who did show? Oh, you did show hair? Oh, la la la, whoop the whoop, and it just kept going like that. Our friends, we would all just be practicing doing each other hair, sew-ins, teaching each other how to do it. It was just that thing for us. I knew I always had a love for hair, and I knew I wanted to do something within that industry or within that field. But I have something that I can tell y'all that I, you know, people that know me, they know it's dear to my heart what I love to do in general, okay? And like they say, God don't give you the finances to fit the dream, okay? So let me just say that that's one reason why I always be on the back burner when it comes to doing that. And I'm just very sensitive about that subject. I'm sensitive about a lot of things that I put out, that I create. This is me. But this particular thing that I'm talking about, which is my business, that's for sure what I'm very sensitive about, because it's always something that I've been loving to do since a child. So yeah, I was kind of like pushed into doing hair because I started at a young age. I had to learn how to do my hair when my mom passed. My mom used to be the one who did the hair in the family. Like, she knew how to do the hair. Clients after clients is watching it happen, you know, and me that's sitting there watching it happen. And she'll do me and my sister hair, she'll do my grandma hair. Now it's me. I'm the one who do all the hair and then do my grandma's hair and, you know, do my sister's hair and all of that, do my kids' hair and all of that. Okay, so this is a little quick backstory. Now let's get into the real tea. My last daughter, my youngest daughter, right? I had my youngest daughter in 2016, brand new baby, right? I was doing people's hair pregnant. I was still doing hair pregnant, okay? But I stopped as I started to show more and more. I was only doing a select few of people's hair, like people that might don't know me or just like family members, you know, because I didn't want everybody knowing about my pregnancy. Like, I wanted that to be just for me and my man and our families. I didn't want that being all over social media, because it's like, at that time when people find out that you're pregnant, it just spreads, you know, it just spreads, and then chaos, and then people that's trying to come around and book you just to be in your business, and it's just weird. It's like, anytime something big is happening in your life, it's like that's when everybody want to come around and try to do the most, and I didn't want all that. And that's actually how I was for each one of my pregnancies. Like, I'm very low key when it comes to stuff like that, because that's very special to me, you know, and I didn't want all of that going on with that. When I started to show or whatever, I ended up not taking as many clients, right? So I knew that I still wanted to do hair and everything, and I did have 2 smaller kids at the time, but I was still trying to be in my bag like heavy. So I was like, I'm not finna slow up, you know what I'm saying? And then we had just moved into our house that same year, so I'm like, I'm not finna slow up my stuff, you know, that's because I'm pregnant. But you know, you gotta be cautious too when you're pregnant. So I wouldn't do too much, right? And I would only take like a few at a time, few of a day, whatever, you know, 1, 2 a day, and leave it at that. So when I had my daughter, I was like, oh, it's time to get back to it. So I was trying to balance, like, me already having 2 toddlers, then me having a brand new baby, you know. So I was trying to balance that, and I was just like, okay, yeah, let me just see how this finna go. Let me just work this out. Let me just do what I need to do, you know. Like, trying to be in my bag, trying to keep my juices flowing and creating. And then when I had posted a picture like, oh, I just had a baby, people were shocked because I was still posting hair content. I was still posting pictures and stuff of clients' hair that I done did, and they like, what, you was pregnant, what, you know? And that's because it ain't your business. You would never know, like, what I got going on. They would never know, you know. That, like, I don't really like people knowing my business like that anyway. Like, it ain't because it's a secret, it's just not your business. Y'all seen that post before. But yeah, it's just that I like to tell my business, okay? I want to tell my business. That's why I'm very precise on who I tell my business to. I'm not a person that tell my business to this any and everybody. Like, that's not it. And then I'm a person that remembers stuff. Like, I remember. So if I'm telling you something and I told you something, I can pick out the time, the date, the attire, what I was probably doing at the time, what emotions I was flowing when I was telling you what I'm telling you. Like, it's always something for why I'm even giving you my time to tell you my business. Like, if that makes sense, because I'm just not a person that's finna just tell you all my business. One, because it does give me anxiety when too many people know too much of my business. Okay, it's not a good look, it's not a good feeling. And then as a woman, you want to keep some things secretive anyway. That's key. But yeah, so people didn't know that I was pregnant. They was like, what, you over here doing here? And then you come post a baby. Oh my gosh, congrats, you know. Whoop the whoop the whoop. Here come the appointments. People still booking. Now the regular people are booking a few weeks to a month of having the baby, right? And then, yeah, I didn't let them know, like, right when I had the baby. I let them know, like, a few weeks later. Push forward. Taking these clients. I started trying to, like, balance it out. Took a few of a day. The money that started coming in, I got people booking left and right. So I'm like, okay. What helped me out at the time was the Facebook groups. It was like this group for hair where I live at. So it's like everybody in that area, you can post your look and you can post your prices. You can post like your content of whoever hair, a video of the hair, whatever like that. So people was just coming in them DMs like, oh, your price is good. And then I was trying to build more of a client fan base at the time too. So I wasn't charging like high prices, right? So that's another thing. When you're trying to build a fan base, charge your worth, but also know that sometimes you gotta cut a little deal in. Sometimes you gotta give people a little deal. You can't, you know, and then you can raise your prices. Once you start getting that consistency coming in, yeah, I was just like, okay, yeah, I got these people coming in, they trying to book, and I am here for it, right? And I'm like, okay, I just had a baby, but everything was flowing together. Everything was good because I had the child on a schedule, had my baby on a schedule, and we was doing our thing, right? And at the time, I wasn't working in the shop and all of that. People, of course, asked me to work in their shops, and I was just like, no, you know. And it just didn't work or fit my lifestyle, and it still don't. I don't do hair no more, but yeah, it just didn't fit my lifestyle or whatever. I wasn't working in no shops. I wasn't finna do all of that. It just wasn't even worth it. And plus, I wanted to be at home with my brand new baby. I would let the people come here, and I have like a beauty room I would be able to do their hair in, right? And before I even made like my beauty room to the public of doing hair in, I used to do people hair in the living room. So push forward, I remember this day that I had posted inside of the group. I told the people that I will be doing a special, and it's the weekend. I will be doing this special for the weekend to do the hair, right? So of course people was booking me, and I was in the middle of doing someone else's hair. I had like a 6 a.m. I booked a 6 a.m. Then I booked like a 7:30 a.m. And then like pretty much those are like the two heads that I had to do. And then I had to turn around and do somebody else's hair like in the afternoon time. So it gave me like a break area to go deal with my children and, you know, spend time with them and everything. When the afternoon came, I'm used to my man being able to be off and then he can operate too. But he was having like a day that day too, you know, tired, having a day too. And so when he came in, he went to sleep. He said, hey, and he went to sleep in his man cave. And here it is. I'm dealing with two little kids, but they are in their room playing or whatever. They're chilling. The baby is like chilling or whatever. I'm doing the hair. The baby is chilling, right? And the baby wanted to go take a nap, so I went and put the baby in the crib to take a nap. So I got this one girl, she asked me to do her hair. You must charge deposits. I know a lot of us, we be like, and they charge a non-refundable deposit. Let me tell you why them non-refundable deposits, baby. This is the story here. Why them non-refundable deposits matter. Deposits matter because of the simple fact people play too much. They will get on your line, get on your online messages and play too much. Play like they finna book you, book a slot, and then be playing. Like playing on your time, and the money you could have made when they don't want to show up or when they just playing. And the person that really want their hair done, they gonna make that appointment. They ain't gonna be doing no cancellations. They ain't gonna be playing like that. They gonna pay their little $25 or whatever the deposit's, 50, 70. It's high these days, but at the time it's like $20, $25. And people gonna pay their little deposit to book that spot because they for sure they want to come get their hair done. Okay, like if you're not for sure, don't even send your money, because if it's saying non-refundable, don't even expect to try to get it back, because it says what it is in the policy when you're booking. And so it's just very crazy. And like a lot of people, I be seeing the controversy behind the hairstylists and the clients. I be seeing the post in the comments, but you don't know how it is to when you're trying to be a business person, or you're hosting, you have some type of business that you give to people, some type of service you provide. You wouldn't understand for real why them deposits matter, because like I said, time is money. You book this time, now you want to cancel an hour before or 5 minutes before your appointment time. You're canceling You know what I'm saying? And then you want your deposit back. Oh, I found somebody else who can do it cheaper. Or, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to refund you that deposit because you just booked this slot. You just booked this slot when somebody else could have came in that spot. And you knew you went for sure to come getting your... Like, you mean to tell me... I know some stuff be happening and to where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not making it on time. Or, and then the hairstylist will give you a grace period, or it's days ahead where you just automatically know that you're not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? Then they'll let you book with them again because you let them know. Some people don't even let you know, but then as soon as they don't get that refund back, they want to act crazy and act the fool on the internet, try to clown your business and how you operate and just over the top, right? When you already let them know what it was in the policy. So at the time, I was not charging a deposit, right? I only charged the deposit to people that I did not know for real, okay? Because I had repetitive clients, like people would come back. I had clients that came back, okay? So I wasn't charging them a deposit. I already knew they was gonna come, which was still dumb. Okay, that's still a red flag because I need to charge a deposit no matter who you are. I text you to confirm the appointment, so I already knew you were gonna come, right? So push forward, I remember getting a message while I'm in the middle of someone's hair, and I remember getting this message on my phone pop up when one of the clients went to go to her car or something for something. She went to go do something. It was some, I think she went to her car to get something or something like that. She was like doing her work on her laptop or whatever. And then she went to her car and then she came back in here, and then I was finishing up her hair. And I remember in the midst of that, I went to go like check my daughters, and then I went to go check my phone. When I checked my phone, it was this girl. She was like, oh, can I come and book with you for a quick weave, like an invisible part quick weave? You know, this how y'all know it's like really old school, because, well, it ain't really old school. It's 2016, that year, 2016. She was like, can she book me for an invisible part quick weave? And I was just like, okay, yeah, you know. But then she asked me, could she book me for the same day? And at the time, I wasn't doing same day appointments unless you booked me early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to come to me early in the morning whenever I might have posted in the Facebook group and said, oh, I got 2 slots available or 3 slots available today, these times, you know. So I didn't post that. All I did was post my picture and the specials I was running, right? And for the weekend. And of course, a lot of people trying to get in on the special for the weekend. I told her she could book, but then I told her, like, yeah, just come in. I don't even know the girl, right? So I should have, like I said, I should have booked her for another day, and I also should have charged a deposit. Like, you want to come this day, I don't know you, same day is just kind of tight, and plus I already had 2 more people after the person I was already doing. But those 2 more people wasn't until later on in the day, like later on nighttime type time, right? So yeah, I let her come, and she was like telling me like, oh, I have like a lot of hair, so I'm gonna need it braided down, right? So I was like, okay, that's not a problem. I can braid your hair down, you know. You getting a quick weave. That's how I do the quick weaves. I don't gel it back and all that. I braid it down. This lady shows up to my house. She had like this big scarf wrapped around her head, right? So I'm like, oh, she got a lot of hair, you know, under this. She got this scarf wrapped around. She must got some hair under there, you know? So then she sit in the chair, and then I take the scarf off the head, and it's no hair on her head. It's like bald and like strands of like hair. Literally, I'm not over exaggerating. Strands of hair around the edges. And then I was like, are you this person? I show her the message. I said, are you this same person that told me that you had, you know, hair, all this hair on your head? And she was like, oh, I have alopecia. When you have alopecia, there's something that you should tell the hairstylist. Number one, because you don't know if they can work with clients with alopecia. You don't know none of this, right? So I've worked with people who has alopecia, but it wasn't really bad like that. Like, it wasn't like where it's bald and it's only like strand of hair like that around the edge, like some edges, like only, okay? And barely that. So I never worked with anybody like that before. I've worked with people who have alopecia, but I've never worked when it's like that severe. I said, so you want a quick weave? You want me to glue this on your hair, right? So I had told her, or do you want me to do a cap? Like, do you want a cap, right? I was gonna go for the cap method. We had to find some way for it to stay on. When I was like, okay, so how do you want me to do your quick weave? Because I'm confused at this point. I'm not even gonna lie, and this not to knock nobody who has alopecia, and this is not to like be insensitive, but I was really concerned. Like, I was like, how does she want me to do this? Because the way I do it, I do a protective style quick weave. I braid the hair down. I use the cap method. I sew it down. I use the little stuff so the shield so it won't leak through. That's what I'm doing. I'm all about protecting the hair and the scalp area. And so she got us. She was like, you could just use the cap, and because this is how I do my quick weaves. And so she took the glue off the shelf and like squeezed a whole lot of glue all over her. I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, you coming over here lying, talking about you had all this hair that I had to braid. Second of all, I squeezed you in same day. Third of all, you hopped up touching the products, and I'm trying not to be rude because I don't know you, you don't know me, and I ain't trying to have nothing going down when I'm having a client come to my home. You know what I'm saying? With my children in here. You don't see my children because they're not up here where I'm working at. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to have y'all have nothing occur with me and you in here with my kids, because it can go down if it have to go down. You get what I'm saying? I just said, okay, well, yeah, show me please. She was like, yeah, so I just do this, and she just, I mean, dang near used the whole glue. Luckily, a lot of people that book me, they don't book me for quick weaves. Okay, so I ain't have to use that glue on nobody else. I ain't have to go run to the store, get some more glue for the other clients that's coming, none of that, right? So in the midst of it, I'm over here. She was like, yeah, so I just do this, and then I put the cap on, and then the cap stays on there because I because you glued the cap onto your head, right? So after that, she then sits down into the chair, back into the chair, and she was like, yeah, you can just install the tracks like you would normally do, whoop the whoop the whoop. So I install the tracks like I normally do. Y'all, this is wild. Wild, I tell y'all. I just be thinking, like, I really have came a long way, because my kids, they changed me to be like a very different person. Because baby, it would not have went down like that. Like, you coming over here, you lying, and you touching all my products, you doing this, doing that, you pretty much doing your own hair for the free. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm looking at it. You're pretty much only doing your hair. You came over here to do your hair for the free, because you had to show me, baby, how you want me to do your hair, which is insane. You got alopecia, really no hair. Like, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but it looks like Jada Pinkett. And Jada Pinkett is a beautiful woman, okay? I know a lot of people say about her and all that bull crap, but Jada is very beautiful, okay? And I do feel like she's a good person deep down, all right? And yeah, it's like her hair with a little strand of hair, like right there, a little strand here and a little strand there, and I just was confused. So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to show me. So then she was already touching it before I even told her she gonna have to show me. You know what I'm saying? I was finna have to show her to the door, like, for real. But I was trying to play it cool. My other client wasn't coming into 2 hours, so it was in a good time span. It don't take that long for a quick weave, like, not to braid or not even to glue tracks on. So when I tell y'all, and I'm just over here talking, I'm really getting into the story, y'all. I'm supposed to be doing the makeup. But anyways, back to the story. So she sits down. I started tracking in the hair, right? Started tracking in the hair. She wanted it cut into a bob. So she wanted it like a symmetrical bob, right? Shorter going to the longer. And that's what we were doing. So I told her, how short do you want the sides? Because I know some people like a longer symmetrical bob. So she was like, oh, I want it like right here by the shoulders and then leave the other side pretty much the same length of the hair. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's easy. There ain't even that much clipping. Next thing you know, one of my clients knock on the door, because we didn't waste so much time you trying to show me without dumping a whole bunch of glue. You know, one of my clients came a little early, so she knocks on the door, and I opened the door for her. I told the lady, I was like, one second, I went to go open the door and let that lady in. So she was just coming, the other girl was just coming to get her sew-in tightened. She went to somebody else and they made her sew-in loose, and she wanted me to come and tighten it up. So that literally don't even take that long to re-tighten up a sew-in, right? So she came early, actually. Like, I didn't expect her to come early, because you were supposed to come to like another 2 hours after that lady booked, you know. So by the time I was getting her out, I would have some grace period, and then you would have been able to come. But she came early. I was like, okay. I was like, well, when I finish up with her cut, I'm gonna get to you. She was like, okay, that's fine, let's take your time. I just came early anyway, you know, like that. I didn't know what you had going on or whatever like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I wasn't gonna take my time. I'm pretty much, when it comes to business, I'm trying to do the business on business time, on business schedule, when it's time to get scheduled. Plus I know I got somebody after you, so we ain't got no time to be wasted. So this lady here, she comes and she's doing a little bit too much. Oh, we glue the tracks in. Oh, I wanted a little bit shorter on this side, so we cut it down a little bit. Then she gets, oh, let me go in there, let me see, let me show you how I want it like this, and let me show you this and that. You already showed me how you want it. Like, what are you talking about? You already showed me. It was just too much, because you already showed me how you want me to do your hair, and you still over here talking about, oh, let me show you how I want my cut, and let me show. Like, what? And then she got the scissors, and she literally, like, you can't even see. I said, ma'am, you can't even see what you're doing in the back of your head. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel what I'm doing. I can feel what I'm doing. So at this point, that's when I text my sister. I was just like, girl, because the lady was already like, she's at like the mirror. I used to have like this mirror on the wall right here, and it had like a shelf in front of the mirror. And she walked over there, she started trimming up her stuff. Then she went to the restroom for like a brighter light, and she was like looking at her stuff, and then she was like, I don't like it. I said, well, you did that to your hair. So I mean, what you want me to do? Do what you need to do, because you cut your own hair. You pretty much glued the cap on trying to show me. And so now what? She was like, and I gotta go to my friend wedding tonight, and I got this wedding party. I don't give a damn. Sorry, but I don't give a damn what you gotta do. So then the lady that just came for a tighten up, she was like, do you have any availabilities on Sunday? It was Friday. So she was like, do I have availabilities on Sunday? And she was like, I'm gonna message you, because I want to reschedule for Sunday. Then she was like, because I gotta go to she had to take her kid to 𝘽𝙪𝙨 or something like that. It's like, yeah, that's you know, contact me, because this is a bit, you know, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, because it's getting crazy. Like, it's time for your ass to go. This other lady, it's time for you to go, because you sitting over here, got my scheduled client having to go, you know. And that's probably why she came early, because she had something to do. So that don't mean I'm supposed to be on your time, because you left before your even scheduled time. So, you know, but she ended up coming back this Sunday anyways, getting her stuff tightened up and everything. And even her, when she was in there watching the lady, she could tell that the lady was overdoing it. So when I had seen her on Sunday, she was saying like, how did you and the client go? You know, and I don't really like to discuss my other client with the other client. She was like, she was doing a bit much, like, and she was doing too much, you know. So then I was just like, yeah, I said, well, that kind of went crazy. I said, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not tripping. I'm moving forward. I'm not tripping on it. I'm not even, you know, I don't even want to get into that, because I ain't really want to tell her how the ending was. When that lady left, soon after that, the last client came after that. The client, I knew her from school. I used to do her hair or whatever. I used to do braids. She came to me this time for like a ponytail, and she peeped game right as soon as she came through that door that it's a difficult client. She do hair now, and she's really, really good at what she do. So the lady was in the restroom. She was like trying to see how she can, and then I was like, well, if you want your bob to be longer, we probably gonna have to redo it, or you're gonna have to have it cut short. And yeah, you know, and then I was like, or he's gonna have to get some added hair to it. Oh, I could have went to get some more hair. That's not a problem. That's not the problem. Is you did your own hair for real. Like, I glued the tracks in, you know, but she got to chopping it up and cutting it up, and child, it was too much, right? So then we in the restroom. It's like the restroom, and then it's the bedrooms, because she was like, she had to use the restroom, right? So I step out of the restroom. She closed the door to use the restroom. I go to the next room. I crack the door, right? Like, it's like a little bitty crack in between the bedroom door, and I was just in there to go check the baby, and I was breastfeeding at the time, by the way. So like I was saying, so then the girl, she's still in the restroom. I cracked the door just so I can wash my house, because although my man is here, he's in the man cave, he has the door closed, he's asleep. And then it's the one girl, she's in there, she's blow drying her hair. And then you are in, the other girl, the difficult client, is in the restroom. I had the door cracked. I turned to like give the baby some milk. When I tell y'all, like under 2 minutes to come out of the room from with my child, and I come out the room, the restroom light on from where she was at, even though people don't be having no sense to turn your lights out nowhere in your house. That ain't tripping on. This girl grabbed her bag, her purse, and she stormed out the house, and she left the door wide open, left the front door wide open. And like at the time, we had a different type of door, so if you open the door, you actually have to actually shut it. Like, it's not gonna close by itself, none of that. So the door was just wide open. She didn't even care to like close the door or nothing. Like, you just stormed up out of here. You didn't pay a deposit. I didn't make you pay half, and none of that. So that was on me, you know. But it was still like dealing with a difficult client. It's just a lot of stuff that's really consider in this situation. I went back up there, and then the girl that was in there blow drying her, she was like, did she pay you? First of all, it's not your business if she paid me, you know. Thanks for checking, but it wasn't your business if the girl paid me, or if what she got going on. Because I already know y'all can peep game that she being like sketchy, because I could feel that too after you came over here and lied about your hair, you know. I can already feel that you're being pretty sketchy and everything. I already peep game. But yeah, I just don't like when y'all want to discuss other clients, because I'm not here to discuss my clients with you. Like, my clients' business, what they got going on, you know, because you treat your clients like a therapist. You treat all your clients like a therapist. Now, when you got other people waiting in the seat, I book y'all at certain time periods so you wouldn't even be able to see the client. But some people like to come early, of course. And yeah, especially when they got their own little stuff going on. Like the one girl, she came with her wig, a blow dry, she ain't got no blow dryer, so she had to use mine. So it's just that kind of thing like that. And it really didn't matter if she paid me. Like, that's not your business. But you know, I was just like, everybody at this point, I'm already irritated. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm already getting a little frustrated, but I'm trying to get you the last person. I'm trying to get you on up out of here, because tomorrow I got to go back at it. But tomorrow, the next day, I'm doing people that actually book deposits. And I'm doing people that actually going to come, like loyal clients, you know. So that part was, you know, that's the positive of it all. Like I said, you just treat your clients like you just kind of like they counselor, they therapist. You let them come and vent it out and everything. And I don't like to sit there and discuss my clients with the other client and all of that. Like, that ain't your business. I will always recommend checking out your clients, especially new clients, because you don't know them. Go check if they booking you through a social media, or even if they not, go look up their names. Shoot, go look up who they might be a mutual friends with. Go check them out. Cause y'all, when she left out of here, I like grabbed my phone to like try to contact this girl. Blocked. Can't message her. Can't call her. Can't text her. Everything blocked. I said, oh wow. And then on top of that, like I told y'all, this was like under 2 minutes. Like, this girl was gone. Like, she was trying to run off on the plug. Like, she ran off on the plug. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, everything blocked. Everything was blocked, right? I'm gonna remain blessed because I'm not finna let that do too much to me. At that time, I was a little irritated. Like, it kind of make you skeptical. Like, you don't want to book nobody new. And I was in that phase where I was like, man, if you associated with a certain type of person, I don't want to deal with you. You ain't coming over my house. You ain't booking me for nothing, you know. And that's kind of like how I was. And I didn't want to be like, because I did want to gain new clients, but also I don't want this anybody as a client, because all money ain't good. You know what I'm saying? All business ain't good. You don't have to do business with everybody. And I was getting to the point where I was just trying to be in my bag, but you know, I wasn't really doing my check-ins like I normally would do. And that's where I slipped up, because I normally do check out the person. If I see them a mutual friend with somebody, I'll go check and ask them. If I know the person, let's say that. If I know the person for real, or that person is like a client or whatever like that, I'll ask them like, what's up with this person? You know what I'm saying? Like, this a good person? You know what I'm saying? Like, how this is, because I don't want this anybody in my space, you know? And that's how I am to this day. Like, I don't like everybody in my space, in my business. I always wanted to take only a select hand group of people and that stay loyal. That's have my loyal clients like I had. And yeah, when I just started trying to have new clients and people I didn't know for real, just to build my clientele more, it don't even be worth it. Like, loyal clients are better than just having new clients every time. I'm telling you, because new client might be difficult, might be one of them people like that, and it just don't even be worth it. Like, it don't even be worth going through all that. Like, all that could have been avoided. Like, you could have just told me you ain't have no hair on your head. I probably wouldn't have been able to deal with that at that moment of the time of that day, because I had other clients and other things that I had to do. So I just wasn't finna deal with it, and I just kind of got a little irritated with that. And then just other clients having to see that, and I'm like, yeah, at this point I'm irritated. I'm ready for everybody to go. I'm ready to get up everybody in and out, you know. But the last client that I had, she's pretty cool, whatever. She really cool, and so I ain't really mind her being the last client, because it's a good ending at the end of the day. It's a good ending with her, because I went to school with her. We got a lot we can talk about, and we got a lot that we can, like, you know, get into and everything like that. And it's cool vibes. Yeah, y'all, it's a very much learning experience. It was a good learning experience, because it definitely molded your girl when it came to business. So I feel like I had to go through that kind of stuff, because you got to have, like, in business, you have to have contracts in place. You have to have the right establishment in place, because it's like this. When it comes to certain people in certain businesses, you would have went to somebody's shop. People do be trying stuff at shops now, don't get me wrong. But if you would have went to somebody's shop and everything like that, then you would have probably acted different or responded different. Or I just feel like she tried to play me because she don't know me, and then because you're new and you tried to play me from the jump when you was lying about your hair situation, and then you wanted me to book you the same day, and oh, do you have one within the same hour? And it was just too much stuff like that. And I feel like that's why when it comes to my business now, it's very different. I handle my business very different. I wouldn't say never, but I'm just not that naive when it comes to that business stuff no more. Like, we ain't getting into that. We ain't doing all that. You know, I try to make sure that's handled. I send that confirmation. You book that deposit, or you ain't got no appointment, you know. So that's how it was from that point on. But I don't do hair anymore. But that was just like a quick little story that I want to share with y'all. And if you are a person who does hair, like, and you're watching this, y'all, I'm telling y'all, make sure you do have your policy established, your prices established. Don't let nobody try to finesse you out of nothing. Like, you running a sale, cool, but people know what they getting into before they even book you. So they knew what you told them the price was. Don't let nobody play. And you charge your deposit. Don't let this internet fool you on. You don't need to book no deposit. If this person want to book you for this hairstyle, and this is how you say, this is what your policy say, I'm not washing your hair, because it's a lot of stylists that make bank, baby, and they don't wash no hair, okay? And I was one of them stylists, okay? And I didn't wash people hair. I washed my family members' hair, but I didn't wash other people's hair in my house. I never worked inside of a shop. I've always been offered to work in shops, but never did it. And one, because I wanted to keep most of my money, and two, it just, like I said, the main reason, it didn't fit my lifestyle. Like, it just didn't operate with how I do my work of business. And then me, I do everything out of the house. I film out of the house. I got my own room. I do my own thing. I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't flow. And that's just a tip for people. If you trying to get into any type of service-based business, have your stuff established. And I understand why it's a big deal. I knew why it was a big deal then, because like I said, people talk too much. They tell too much of your business. People waste time. And people just don't care about your time. Like that girl, she didn't care that I had kids in my house. She didn't care when she left my door open, wide open. I got another client in this house. Anybody could have ran up in here. Well, they crazy if they do. But they could have ran up in here and did anything. But the girl that I had here that was next after her, she told me, she was like, the girl ran up out of here. It was kind of like, she was like, once you went to go get your daughter's a bottle or whatever, she ran up out of there. And I was like, yeah, because it happened like so freaking quick. Like I went in there, I had the door cracked. I didn't think when she coming out of the restroom, she coming out of here to go get her stuff, to go rush out of here to go drive out. What? So it's funny now, but it's just weird. Like the things that stylist has to deal with, and I'm not even over exaggerating, like, and for people to just be on here wondering why we have to charge what we charge, or oh, she's too high. First of all, this is our time. Second of all, y'all love to waste time. Like, people love to waste time, and that's why I like dealing with certain people. I'll give a person a chance. Like back then, I would give a person a chance, but it just always showed me why I need to just stick to my loyal clients. Because like I said, loyal clients, they're gonna be booking for the next day in advance, the next time they gotta come back. You know, they're gonna be booking. It's gonna be consistent, and they know that you do a good job and everything, so they're gonna be booking in. I don't know, I always had like repetition of clients. I always had loyal clients that came back, but I had my select group of clients that, you know, for sure the next time, the next week, they coming back, the next few months, or you know, if I do braids, they coming back the next few months. It was always like that. I think I ran across that like last week, somebody talking about that on the internet. It's this lady that I like to watch on Wish We Dig, and I like her because she like an artist or whatever, and I like to watch her. And she was talking about how she do her own hair because one of the stylists pulled her hair out. Now I understand that part. Every stylist is not like going to be all about growing your hair. Some stylists just trying to slap their hairstyle on and that be what it's gonna be. You know, they don't really care for the protection underneath the style. And what I can honestly say, I always cared about the person's scalp and their hair and how they gonna be when they leave up out of here. You know, like I ain't trying to pull your hair too tight. I ain't trying to glue stuff in the wrong space and it's gonna rip out. Like, I ain't trying to do that. So like I was saying, so the lady that I watched, she was just like, oh, and the girl, you know, the girl just pulled my hair out, so I never went back. And after that, I just did my own hair. I do my own braids, my own sewing, da da da. And I'm telling y'all, that's like how I am. Like, that's exactly how I am. Like, I rarely go to anybody to get my hair done. Like, I went to one person to get my hair done this year, and she did a really good job. Okay, she's a stylist from Chicago, and when I tell y'all she did a really good job, she did a really good job. And I was able, because I know how to do hair, I was able to maintain my cut. Like, still to this day, if I wanted to do my cut, it'd be easy for me to do that same exact cut because of how she made it so easy. Like, my hair grew out several times. I cut my hair, but I still can maintain that cut and do that cut. I was able to maintain that cut for months after her doing it. Okay, so yeah. But I feel like if you didn't really know too much about her, then you would be booking. But I let it be known when I first went up in there. Like, me and her, we clicked. As soon as I went up in there, we clicked. And she was like, she feel like God brought me to her for a reason. And I love that. I love that, baby. I love that. She said she feel like God brought me to her for a reason, because I'm dropping so much knowledge on her and everything about business and about life, you know. And I love that. And she's older than me. She's actually like, I think she told me she's 48. She could be 48 or 45. It was one of them though. Cut it all off, worked out, and we still working with this cut underneath these braids. Don't get it twisted. Speaking of which, if y'all want to see how I did these braids is about four weeks, I guess, like a month old, and they still look pretty good. But if y'all want to see me do this, check out that video. It's up on my channel now. I feel like this generation, and just not even just our generation, like it's older people that's older than us, and you know, in a different generation. I feel like this world in general, we just lack compassion and empathy and understanding sometimes. And I say sometimes because sometimes, like, even when it comes down to me, because I'm not just speaking on others, like I be feeling like when I'm not moving intentionally to be insensitive to nobody, or I'm not moving funny to, you know, just be acting shady towards nobody. Like, I intentionally try to move good and move right and do right by people. And sometimes I have to sit back and, like, you know, self-reflect and just ask myself, like, you know, reflect on my day or what my month or whatever. I'm just like, did I do anything, you know, when I might have hung out with a person or talked to an individual, did I might have overstepped, or, you know, just anything like that. So I do self-reflection when it comes to stuff like that, because I want to make sure I'm on point. I do find myself like, oh well, maybe I might have been extra, you know, but if so, you know, I'm just being me. But I'm not intentionally doing things to, like, mess over somebody, or just, you know, some people just have them intentions where they just are like that, and I'm not intentionally being nothing like that. I just feel like that girl, like, when I did her hair, like, you stormed out of here. You knew I had kids in here. You knew I had family in here. It was just too much. And I just feel like she peeped what she peeped, and she did what she did, and she did that for a reason, of course. And obviously didn't want to pay her. Probably didn't even have the money. Like, I'm going to take the Baddie lashes, you guys. I had to show y'all this real quick. But these are from Baddie Lash House, and they're in the style Cali. I need to give me some more. She has other styles, but I have, like, pretty much a lot of the styles. It's a lot you have to deal with when it comes to being a hairstylist or just having a service-based business. It's a lot of different people you have to see. A lot of different, like, it's even the people that work at, like, fast foods. You never know. You might get a real difficult client, or you might get a client that bless your hustle that day. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Like, but you always have to check your intentions. I always have to check yourself and make sure you are doing what you need to do. When it's a hairstylist trying to charge a deposit that's not going towards the price, I think that's nuts. Okay, you got to charge me a deposit to book you, and then it's not including into the full price that I already have to pay. I feel like that is overdoing. As far as you having to pay a deposit and it goes towards the full cost of the style or whatever, I feel like that's, you know, that's a good thing, because that make people want to book you. I feel like even if you want to charge somebody some extra money, it's a way that you can go around it. Like, it's a whole way. It's just like when people be selling products on, like, Shopify or their websites or something, they'll be like, oh, free shipping. It really don't be free shipping for real, because they include the shipping inside of the price of the product. Okay, so it's a lot, y'all, but I'm very much thankful of the experiences that I had within that, because that was like my first ever with doing business, and that actually taught me a lot. And I am very much thankful for those experiences, because experiences make us and break us, and we can live and learn from those experiences. And I definitely did learn a lot from my experiences, because I was like, baby, normally your girl would have definitely not had that one. But I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this girl. She don't want nothing but a quick weed. Girl, this is the quick weed from hell. But yeah, you guys. So, moral to the story. make sure you check them clients out. Make sure they check out good, and you won't have the situation. Make sure you are checking in those deposits, okay? Or they ain't got no appointment. This is how I feel, okay? Because that will have avoided a lot. Me making her make a deposit, because if she didn't really want to spend no money, she wouldn't even have booked me, and she wouldn't even have did a deposit, you know. She would have been like, oh nah, I'm gonna just go to somebody else, or she probably wouldn't even have responded if I told her yeah she can come, you know. So that would have solved that. Also, make sure your client is being truthful. Ask they but for a picture of their hair or something, you know what I'm saying. Make sure you ain't getting into nothing that you ain't signed up to do, okay? And just overall in general, make it work for you, because people don't be caring about your time for real. You just have some people that are like that. They don't care what you got going on, okay? So make sure you are staying protected. Make sure you are handling your business, standing on business, doing what it is you have to do to handle and take care of your business, and that nobody else is interfering with that and how you run your business. And if they, you know, if they automatically showing you red signs, red flags, you can get them out of there from when you even start. They can leave then, okay? Or before they even get there, they can leave, because it don't even be worth it, okay? So I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you guys got some giggles and laughs, and I hope you guys will subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I thank you guys that are returning. And like I said, if you guys want to see how I did these braids, they are a little bit, you know, like a month old or whatever, but if you guys want to see how I did them, make sure you check out my other video on my channel, and just check out my other videos, okay? Because your girl do be having some videos for your girls, okay? Follow me on my social networks as well that you saw across the screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.